What's up, everyone? Demboy's back with another one. This is going to be a salary cap, what you need to know, and rosters updated. Now that I've had a little more time to really hammer in. The first thing I want to note, this is not my salary cap roster, this is just my normal roster. Um, you don't have to only play salary cap. You can chisel a salary cap roster out of your primary roster. Will it dull this a little bit? Sure. There's a little extra money that I've had to spend on salary cap to where, my team right here, 86 on both sides of the ball, would undoubtedly be a bit better. Not that I have a real issue with this team, not that I have a problem going in and winning games with this team. I don't. But let's switch to the salary cap lineup. You'll see a lot of similarities. One thing that I wanted to note here is this offensive line is definitely very dialed in. Um, you could have him down at like 83 or whatever it was. Um, but these tackles, I wanted to have good pass block there. But do note this offensive line. There is a reason that these guys are here. Like I said, him you could do something a little different, a little less. But these guys are dialed in and very much so there for a reason. So that would be the offensive line I would recommend you use. They hit certain thresholds at these overalls. And just for a cheap player, 79 overall, but he hits all the thresholds you need. I like to go to my tight end a lot, so I like this Kittle until Sharp shows up and you can just truck everyone. Kittle is a real good value tight end just because he's going to have enough speed at 84 overall to get open within our scheme. Think of your scheme. Now this is also where we're going to have to time out for a second. If you have a drastically different scheme, or even just a little bit different scheme, or maybe even the same or similar scheme, but you are interested in some different players, you may or may not know I offer coaching. It's very inexpensive. Right now I'm charging like $10 an hour. It's tax free. I don't need to be greedy. So if you ask me for a half hour worth of help with something, you just slide me $5 on PayPal. To optimize your roster, to have someone who knows exactly and has been there and done that to help them optimize the roster, that's well worth it. All right, we'll talk about your scheme, how you run your defense, you run your offense, and we'll set up your team accordingly. Continuing on, as you know, I run the two running backs. McCaffrey makes a great wide receiver. So that's why I have him there. Now, I will say this, if you want, I made room for one ability. I wanted Bo to be able to truck and stiff arm the heck out of people. In salary cap mode, to this point, that is really, to me, the one that's worth it. It's like if I put Gurley in, he has the spin and juke stuff, jacked way up. To me, the amount of cap that you're spending on these things is only worth it for someone that's going to touch the ball a lot. So if you have one on your quarterback that you really like, run it. These ones on the running back, we all know, like armbar, how overpowered that is. That's why I went that direction. You guys also know I typically am going to run 2 wide sets. And, here goes another thing to consider, guys. Even if you run more 3 wide sets, do you throw to all of those receivers, or is one of those maybe usually some type of a clear out, right? Because you can audible receivers around, at the beginning of the game, move them around or whatever, get them set. So let's say you run a lot of 3 wide, but one of them's a clear out guy. Well, why not have this Marquise Brown? He can clear out. He has the speed at 88 speed. You can send him on a go, and he can threaten the defense, as well as pull that safety far enough away to where if you're thrown to another route in the sort of similar area, it's harder for a defender to click on, right? That's one of the reasons you want speed on your clear out guy, because 1 second into the play, he's going to be a few yards further downfield, right? 2 seconds into the play, he's going to be another few yards further downfield. Well, if you throw a flag or a post and he's on a go, when the user goes to click on and try to jump that, he's going to be another 4 or 5 yards away. So this guy, for 23 cap, absolutely does everything I need him to. And I'm not throwing contested jump balls to him, so his catching stats don't matter as much, right? So I do really recommend him as a third, as a clear-out guy to save you money. Fourth wide receiver, go ahead and grab Taquan Mizell. He's a running back. They list him as a 10-cap wide receiver. Great, you can throw a little drag and jump cut. He's got a good enough jump cut if he's ever in the game. You know, if people are tired or something. So something to note there. Now let's get to defense. Now if you've followed my free runner, the way this is going to look is we're going to have the right end, defensive tackle, left end. Now, for my Heat defender, I could boost him up more, but I've chosen not to. Reason I picked him, again, everything has to be very specific. You look at his tackle and hit power for a 78 overall player, awesome. So I want him, he's coming in there every time, he's firing off at you. Okay, very specific reasons here. Devin Bush, if you've watched my updated video on how to set up versus a blocked running back. Okay, Devin Bush is essentially, I've gotten to the point where unless I drop the D tackle back, which I'm really not doing with the fat boy, I'm probably just sending 5 almost every play now. That's kind of what this free runner's evolved into. So Devin Bush is going to blitz along with Pat Tillman. That's just because he has good speed to get there quickly, and then when I do want to shift to the 3-4 bear, I still have a linebacker that's quick that I can use her. That's also why this guy's here. You might be going, why the heck do you have him in here? But he has 79 speed, so you can user him. If you have the extra cap and you don't want to 10 cap it, there you go. Ulysses Gilbert III. My other user, so you might be saying, well, wait a second, because you have 2 linebackers in the middle when you're playing the big dime. Yep, Troy Apke is going to be put into the other spot, and he's going to become my user. The reason there is 17 cap with 85 speed, and he's 6'1". Give me that, give me that, give me that. That's my user all day. Let's go rover, you know? If I'm not on him as a user, he's playing a mid-read or a deep middle, and he's got the speed to do so. In that case, I would end up using Lattimore. Again, go check out that video on the 146 how to run it versus blocked updates, or blocked running backs update. That will really help you understand what I'm doing here. Now, essentially here, I just wanted to save cap with a bunch of 10 cappers, but I needed them to serve a purpose, right? Since these guys are my primary pass rushers, these are just big boys. So, you know, if I go goal line or 4-4, something like that, I've got the big boys for cheap. That's all. Marlon Humphrey, again, he's just a cheap option, but he's got good speed. 84 speed, cheap option. So this is kind of why I've set up my lineup the way I have. Some good players to note: Apke, Savage. I actually start him up top in that free safety spot. Again, 84 speed. Not bad. Good value, right? These guys are able to, just the fact that these guys are as fast as they are, and I'm saving that cap, really enables me to put playmakers out there. You know, Mel Bunt's a playmaker. Ken Houston's a playmaker. Khalil Mack's a playmaker. LT's a playmaker. Those guys cost a little more. So what are you going to give up? Every single cap counts, guys. There cannot be one player that isn't there for a very specific reason to fit your scheme. They have to, guys. They have to, or you will never compete at the highest level. And as we know, you know, salary cap, it's not a free game mode to get into. The prizes are great. You know what I mean? If you can win games, if you're a good enough player to win games, it's probably the most fruitful game mode you can play. But, you know, it's going to cost you $15K for premium entry, $9K for standard. If you're winning any amount of games, just do the 15. The rewards are just way better. It's way worth it, guys. Them boys, I hope this was helpful. Again, you know, when I talk about offering that coaching for $10 an hour, lineup optimization is coaching. all this stuff, guys. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Please support the movement. It helps a ton. I really have been just humbled and thankful for the amount of support I've received. I think I've gained like 50 new subs in the last 4 days. I mean, thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you. It really means a lot. Eventually we got to take the support, or I've got to find ways to take the support to a somewhat monetary level, because the more time I can spend doing this, the better the content's going to be for you guys. I love this. This is what I want to do. I don't want or need to make a ton of money doing it. If I can make enough money doing this to where I don't have to work as many hours, it's going to benefit all of us for the long haul, guys, because in Madden 22, when I'm sitting here talking to you with a big following, we'll remember back to this, you know? I ain't going to stop. I love it, guys. I love it, I love it, I love it. Keep the requests coming. I really appreciate it. You're going to get the content, guys. You're going to get the content. Actually, I got to do a quick shout out, and we're going to call it a wrap. So some of you are just going to boop and leave. But yeah, okay, that's right. That's my guy, Markeith Whitaker again. Shout out to you. I appreciate the support. He asked me for some heat out of Big Nickel. I'm going to get in the lab and get that going. Look for that tomorrow. I'm going to show you guys some heat out of Big Nickel. I'm asking him how deep into it he wants me to take the tutorial as far as how to run Big Nickel. We'll see what he wants. If y'all want me to go into detail on the tutorials with Big Nickel and just the best practices for running Big Nickel as well as showing you heat, comment, let me know that's what you want. This content is for you. If it is helpful for you, I want to make it. Damn boys, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.